Aidan. I'm off myself. Okay, can everybody hear me? Yeah. Can everybody see me? I'm not the biggest person in the world. Yeah, I just want to reiterate what Aidan and Arjan said earlier on. We haven't been paid to be up here. No idea why I'm here. Was up at 4:40 a.m. So it's good evening from me. So hopefully I don't nod off during the presentation. Hopefully you don't nod off during the presentation, because I'm in the software industry, but I'm in the most boring part of the software industry, which is accounting software. Okay, so software is really exciting, but accounting software is not. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit exciting for you today. We had a bit of an issue and hiccup when I came here. The files didn't seem to travel as well as I did. So I had a few sound files which we've had issues with. But Giles, I'm going to nod at Giles. I don't have a pointer, I just have a finger. So I'm going to nod at Giles, and hopefully all the slides will follow as quickly as I speak. Now, just set the scene a little bit. So Giles, you go to the next slide for me. I need to give you a few facts about Big Red Book. So the first part's probably going to be a little bit tedious and boring, but I need to set the scene about who we are and where we've come from, and then I'll get on to why I'm here, about the Google side of the business, which is probably the bit you're more interested in. So I'm going to say who or what is Big Red Book, some of the facts about my company, why are we growing in a bad economy, and we are, and how we worked with Google to increase our business. So I'll just show you a little TV ad we did back at home.
Getting bogged down and stressed out with tedious accounts and payroll? Then Big Red Book is the solution you're looking for. Big Red Book is Ireland's easiest to use accounts and payroll software for small to medium-sized businesses. It's easy to use, does all your VAT and payroll calculations, and gives you more time to concentrate on the important things in life. Try out our software on bigredbook.com or call 01 20 48 300.
Okay, so that was just a TV ad we did. So why is an Indigenous Irish software company, why we're thriving in a downturn? The facts. Okay, we're 16 years in business. I didn't invent the software. I was introduced to the company that developed it, which was a firm of accountants, back in 2000. I liked the software so much, and the company, I ended up buying it. They were losing money at the time. They had 3,500 customers, and they had 3 products. We now have over 14,000 users running approximately 35,000 businesses accounts on our software. Our turnover last year was up 18.5%, and our year end is the 31st of January. So we have been working through a number of the months of the recession, the bad economy, and our profits are up 43%. Why? Okay, so basically, from an accounting point of view, where we are, companies that have been using manual books now of all times, is more important to go on to computerized books. There's still 20% of companies using manual books, and they're finding it difficult to track through Word and Excel who owes them, who's part paid them, who hasn't paid them, and so they're now moving on to accounting software. Individuals that have been made redundant are, stepping up to the mark, and they're setting up their own businesses. They feel it's the time to do that. We're not an expensive package to buy, and it's very simple and easy to use. So you don't need to be an accountant or a qualified bookkeeper, or a qualified accountant to run our software. Giles? How? Okay, next one, Giles, please. Okay, so I sold another successful business 12 months ago. Timing couldn't have been better. It was an SAP partner. I had taken a kind of a 4-year sabbatical out of Big Red Book from when I'd taken it over first to concentrate on the SAP business. We built that up to be the biggest partner for SAP in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And my sales manager approached me last year about buying 20% of the company. I agreed the price and the percentage, and 3 weeks later he came back and he said he wanted to buy the whole company. I said, fine. So we agreed a different price, and he took all my staff off me and paid me cash and moved out. So that's given me time to work on Big Red Book. So what I did first was I set about rebranding the Big Red Book, both internally and externally, because I had really kind of ignored it. It had kind of plodded along on its own. So what I did was did silly things like we changed the carpet in the office to red. I have red leather seats in my office. Put a couple of branded minis out in the road, and we changed the logo and worked with a company to give us this think bubble, so people would think simplicity and think about Big Red Book because it's easy to use. So we came up with that. Then we redesigned the website. That was the second stage, and we went through search engine optimization. That's the bit you're going to be interested in, and I'll come back to that in a little while. Once we did the search engine optimization, we were then approached by Google for their Jumpstart program, and Aidan's going to speak about the Jumpstart program later on, just after me, and it's very useful. But you need to do both. You need to do search engine optimization, and you need to work with Google to get the benefits of being up there number one on the natural search. As a result of our work in search engine optimization in Ireland, if you put in accounting software, Bigger Book come up as number one natural search. So as a result, now we've had a significant increase in the number of trial downloads of our software. So we're pushing people to our website, and they're downloading our software, and they're very, very easy leads after that because they're soft sales. As a result, then, we've had increased sales. These are pictures of the minis down in a nice location just down from our office in Dublin. So there are a few of them that I've pictured there. They're out on the road. They're getting the message out there on our website. When you download the software, obviously we want to find out where where they got our name from. So we have internet, accountants, TV, radio, whatever it is, and the minis as well. So they're out there doing a job for us while spreading the message. Thanks, Giles. This is our website. So unlike Matish, I have my website here. So maybe the lady in the front draws your eyes to that, which was a little bit like one of the slides Arjan had on earlier on. Maybe that should be a little bit smaller. But with the search engine optimization, we do land people on the pages on the keywords that they have searched on. So it doesn't necessarily just come here to our homepage. But you can see, try it for free, big yellow posted, it's there, and that's what people want to do. They get in there, download it, downloads very, very quickly. It's not a very big file, so that's very useful. Okay, so although you don't know us, we are an established brand in Ireland. We are the second largest supplier of accounting software and payroll in the country. Our software is simple and easy to use. So these are all messages we had to get across and get out there, and we needed to incorporate in our website. We're a multi-company as standard. We've contact center and full product support available throughout the day. It's a minimal setup time for people. It's a jargon-free system, and it looks familiar because the name came from the old red ledgers people used to use in the old days. People are still in school learning the old journals and 3-in-1 bookkeeping, and that's exactly what our software is. So it has probably a 20th century look and feel, but it does what it says on the label. Giles. Okay, I'm going to look at a few notes here just to flesh out these points for you. So he's told me not to cross the screen, so that's why I've been standing over there. Okay, so basically Google generate pre-qualified leads because of the search phrases used, okay? Now we've all learned a lot about that this morning. So basically organic placement on Google allows the Big Red Book to be there when prospective customers are ready to buy. For us, this sets Google apart from other sales channels as the traffic it brings are pre-qualified by the very search phrases they use. So we have all the search phrases we want. We did a lot of work on that. I'm going to go on that in the third point here. But that has helped us. So it wasn't always the case. The Bigger Book has historically we've been okay at generating traffic. But this traffic wasn't the type that downloaded or converted. Only relatively recently, with the guidance of the Coburn brothers, and they asked me to mention their names, and I'll tell you a little bit about them later on as well, did we proactively target specific search segments on Google that could theoretically improve conversion, and it has. Bigger Book in Ireland is a reasonably well-known brand, as I've mentioned in my previous slide. As a result, brand-related searches account for close to 60% of all downloads on our website. But we need to zone in on that 40%. That's the area we need to. We've obviously worked very well on other advertising mediums to get the 60% up there, but the 40% is important. So whilst these searches are clearly extremely important, the remaining 40% of our traffic occupy the lion's share of our ongoing SEO focus. This remaining 40% is nevertheless lucrative and allows us to target potential buyers who are perhaps less brand aware or who simply have a problem that they need solved. That 40% is only a tiny slice of the wider buying community for our products, and by progressively expanding our key phrase net, it is our expectation that Google will continue to deliver. Organic placement alone is not going to cut it. You need to back this up with engaging and compelling content. Otherwise, people won't go back to your site. You won't get the visitors that you're looking for. So it is good to discover through experience that this seems to be what Google itself wants website owners to do. Our experience would seem to confirm that the more relevant we can make our web pages to the specific search phrases they are targeting, the better organic placement is achieved. Although sometimes it is difficult to understand exactly what Google might be looking for, retrospectively, it usually turns out to be closely aligned to what the customer was looking for in the first place. Okay, so that's important to note. Okay? As a result of this, we align our end user searches with the relevant content. So obviously, as a result, we implement an online sales process that works because it addresses the challenge of aligning end-user information searches with relevant content that is specialized and solution-oriented. Okay, so that figure, like accounting software is not that many, there's not that many words, but we actually came up with and researched and identified 13,000 2, 3, and 4-word key phrases relevant to traffic on our site alone. So you think about Chemist Direct, and they've got 20,000 products, I think Mitesh said. You can imagine how many key phrase words he'd have to come up with. After the semi-formal process of redefining our targeted market segments, based on our user search behavior, we zoned in on a core set of key phrases. Now, I'm not going to reveal these just in case there's any competitors in the room. So basically, 1, these were directly relevant to specific aspects of our product range. 2, identify the searcher as a potential customer by the very fact that they typed in the phrase. 3, were considered practical key phrases that could be implemented on particular web pages. And 4, had sufficient historical search volume to suggest it was as a viable traffic generator. Okay? So the next thing you've got to look at it as users' behaviors are different. So you've got to get your mind in the mind of the people that you want to search on your sites. So just a couple of examples of what I mean by that in my industry. Accountants, for example, might search on accounting software, accounts package, financial reporting software. Business owners might search on computer package for books, Do My Books, software for accountancy, VAT software. So according to Ferris research, up to 15% of searchers prefix their searches with words like find me more information on, look up, get me more information on. Okay? So Google helps Big Red Book implement a prospect targeting process that is both effective and consistent on the back of that. So to target those type of users, organic search, you need to preempt this behavior and deal with the phraseology appropriately on and off your website. Whilst position changes do occur on Google, our experience has been that there is a core set of requirements relative to communicating the idea of relevancy to Google. That, if adhered to and not abused, seem to get rewarded. And that's what Aidan mentioned earlier on. Like, you can pay all you want for the keyword phrases, but if your content's not relevant, you won't get up the rankings. Giles, please. So just a kind of a separate side based on the economy and the recession. From our point of view, I live in a very positive bubble, and I try to surround myself by positive people. And I feel there's probably a lot of positive people here because you're here for a start, so you're obviously wanting to do something. So you're being proactive, which is the first point on my slide. Spot opportunities. I said I'd go back to John Coburn. I got just a random email from the Coburn brothers about selling more on the internet, and I responded to it, and I invited him into my office to talk about it, and I was very interested to find out about search engine optimization. This was last September. He had a DVD, I said I loved it. I said I'd market it to my 14,000 customers if he helped me optimize my website. So he gave me a 12-point plan that myself and my web designer followed, and within 2 months we were #1 on the natural searches. So you need to follow this. You can email me if you want. It's marc@bigredbook.com, and I can forward John's details. Second opportunity is bigredroaming.com. When I sold my other business, I had quite a lot of office space left, so I divided up into office pods. And a colleague from a number of years ago, when I had some businesses in the mobile phone market, approached me because he was living locally. He had 4 boys under the age of 7. He was driving him mad. He was working in his house and needed to get out. I asked him what he was doing, and he explained he was in this in this market. And what bigredroaming.com is a SIM that you get for your mobile phone. If you're traveling anywhere in the world, it'll save you up to 80% of your call charges on roaming. And not only does it save you money, if your office is calling you and they dial you, they're charged a local rate. So you can check that out. Everything's on the website. But that's what I'm talking about. Always look for opportunities. It doesn't do you any harm. And by virtue of the fact that I spoke to John Coburn about optimizing my website, I'm standing here today. So I mean, none of you heard Big Red Book before. I don't know what I'm standing here for, but this is the result of an opportunity, basically. Boost yourself, okay? So obviously you've all gone into, if you're all owner-managers or running your own businesses, it's very trying these days. So you have to keep on boosting yourself, motivating yourself. That's very important. Don't forget what you went into business for. You went in to enjoy it and to make a bit of money. It's hard to make that bit of money now, but do boost yourself, and it will help. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just don't. Some of the stuff you can get tied up in can drag you down. It'll get sorted out. You know, just don't worry about it. And don't be afraid to change your mind. Small businesses are like chameleons and are going to succeed much better than big businesses, because big businesses take ages to make decisions to change course. Small businesses can change immediately, and hence they will survive longer through the recession. So just very quickly, because I'm getting the old nod there, just a couple of our ads here, which we then developed based on the Think Bubble. So you can flick through these, Giles. So that's one of them. This is just red without the bull. Simply red. Play on the name. Then we came across, got the message across that you can actually have more time to do what you like doing by using our software. Next one. And there's another one. Sarah had more on her plate. Time to do lunch. Next. That was for Valentine's Day. Next. Paul lost his drive before Big Red Book. Next.
If I was to tell you about a simple and easy way to save time and effort on your accounts, what would you say? What if there was an alternative to your manual books or the problematic accounts package you already have? At the Big Red Book, we have the answers. So what makes us so different from other accounts packages? It's simple and easy to use. Call us today to find out more on 1890 334 555 or visit us at www.bigredbook.com. Big Red Book, simply the easiest to use computerized bookkeeping package on the market.
Let's hope to get away from that. Any questions?
You talked a lot about the Irish market, but what are your plans about doing different search engine optimization in the UK, or targeting the UK specifically?
Yeah, we have a UK site set up and ready to go, but we were waiting to get into #1 on the natural searching, and our average placing is 1.9 on the pay-per-click now. So with the Google AdWords. So we have the server in place, we have the .co.uk domain name, and that's phase 2 of my plan. Because we do have a number of customers in the UK already, but our software will work not only in the UK, but in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, anywhere where the accounting rules are the same as UK and Ireland. So that's phase 2. Okay, thank you.